What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Chill, where I, Graham G.S. Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network. And today we're talking the latest episode of Raw Talk for December 28th, 2020. Another decent episode of the show, really nothing worth writing home about here, aside from the Brody Lee stuff. I thought the Brody Lee tribute from the New Day's Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston was tremendous. That was really all I was hoping for from this show, after we didn't really get a lot on Raw, which was disappointing. I know Brian Myers spoke out about that on Twitter. We did get the opening graphic. Tom Phillips, McIntyre, among others, paid tribute to Harper throughout the show by either saying his catchphrases or doing the Harper discus clothesline lariat, whatever. I thought all of that was great. Personally, I mean, not that I was hoping for it because I knew it wasn't going to happen. It would have been nice had they done like a 10-bell salute or a video package. I mean, the guy was only with the company a year ago, and he wasn't the biggest name in the history of WWE. But by all accounts, from every single story we have heard about Harper in the last couple of days since his passing on Saturday, the guy was an incredible human being and one of the most well-liked and well-respected performers and human beings in the history of this business. I have not seen any sort of reaction, outpouring of support and love and admiration for a person in this business after they passed, ever, aside from maybe a few select people in the last couple of years alone, if not ever. So anyway, we'll get into it here from Raw Talk of last night. They had Charlotte Caruso and R-Truth hosting as always. Charlie says that R-Truth should have had her back when she was up against the wall being interrogated essentially by Angel Garza. And I think R-Truth kind of came to her aid a little bit. I'm pretty sure he bumped into Angel Garza backstage, so the interaction between Garza and Caruso didn't really go anywhere. But yeah, there was once a time where Garza was hitting on Charlie Caruso, and then she got jealous after he started hitting on Demi Burnett of The Bachelor show, or The Bachelorette, or whatever the hell it is. That storyline went absolutely nowhere. So we're supposed to believe that Garza has a new secret admirer. And my guess, as other people have guessed, would be Eva Marie. I think she might be perfect for that role, actually. So the Caruso thing doesn't really matter at this point. But that was a storyline they were doing a couple of months ago that was just abruptly dropped out of nowhere. So they were just going to talk about that for a little bit. They recapped the ending to Raw that saw Alexa Bliss threaten Orton to burn her alive, the same way that he did the Fiend at TLC, which he didn't, obviously. I thought it was a dumb ending. I actually like the ending. I will defend the ending to the TLC pay-per-view with the Inferno match. I like that. I thought that was cool. I thought that made for a cool ending. It was a great visual. We didn't see anything here. Why would Orton burn her alive anyway? It was just a dumb ending. They want to make you to look forward to next week's show. They want to get you excited for next week's show. It did not, to be honest with you. So they talk about that briefly. The first guest they have on is Keith Lee, who is now the new number one contender to the WWE Championship. Next week on Raw, talking about next week's Raw, he is facing Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship by virtue of his victory over Sheamus last night on Raw. So he talks about becoming the number one contender. They replay Drew McIntyre's comments from earlier on Raw, where he said that he was looking forward to facing Keith one-on-one for the title. Pretty, basic promo for McIntyre. He says that next week, Keith Lee says that is. He says that next week is his chance to create a new legend on a night all about the legends, and Hogan's going to be back and Ric Flair, among other people. Next week is his chance to create a new legend. And he says that it's a little weird. He reiterates this a couple times, that McIntyre's a man who supports cheap shots. Because Sheamus bro-kicked Keith Lee, maybe not once but twice, at the beginning of Raw last night. It didn't matter. Keith Lee still won the match and became the number one contender. But he thought it was weird that McIntyre's friends with Sheamus, and McIntyre didn't really do anything. He kind of scolded Sheamus a little bit, but he didn't really do much beyond that. Didn't beat him up or go after him. It seemed like he supported Sheamus in attacking Keith Lee, and Keith Lee didn't appreciate that. And the only person who has believed in Keith Lee from the get-go is Keith Lee, he says, and that he himself is a legend in the making. I don't see him winning the WWE Championship next week, but I am looking forward to the match. The last two matches they had on the show were good, albeit had non-finishes, so I'm looking forward to seeing them clash for a third time next week, this time for the title. And hopefully, Keith Lee, while he probably won't win, it will have a clean finish, and they won't be interrupted by Randy Orton or Retribution or whatever the fuck. So the next people they have on, the next pair of guests are, as I said, the New Day's Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Xavier, when the first thing that he says when he comes on the show, he does the Luke Harper, yeah, that Harper used to do back in the day. When I say back in the day, I'm talking only just a couple of years ago, like 5-6 years ago. But they talk about Big E's Intercontinental Championship win from SmackDown. I think this is the first that we've heard from Xavier and Kofi about that, as it only just happened on SmackDown a couple of days ago. And that was when Xavier started paying tribute to Brody Lee, calling him a very dear friend. He got very emotional talking about his close friend. Very, very close, I guess these guys were. I mean, they actually came up in the system together. Harper was hired, I think, in 2012, and that was the exact same time that Woods was also in FCW, in NXT. They kind of came up together. And they debuted around the same time as well. Harper came up in the summer of 2013 with the Wyatt family. And Woods came up only a couple months after that with R-Truth. And Truth didn't come from NXT, but he was paired with Truth from the get-go. So they worked with each other quite a bit throughout the New Day and Wyatt family stuff, and they were always very close. So it was very cool to hear and see Xavier Woods pay tribute to Brody Lee. I know he had a Brody Lee armband on during Raw, but to actually hear him say Brody Lee, John Huber, Luke Harper, whatever, paid tribute to him here on Raw Talk for a couple of minutes. And the clip is up on WWE's channel, which is really, really cool. So I was really happy about that. But Kofi Kingston had some really nice words as well, saying that he and Harper always connected through their kids because they were both fathers. So I thought that was really nice. And obviously, far and away, the best part about the show. I really thought that should have closed it, albeit I kind of figured that they wanted to end on a happier note with Asuka, so they bring out Asuka, who is now not only the Raw Women's Champion, but one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And she says that she and Charlotte have a long history. And while she misses Lana, Charlotte was kind of the perfect partner for that time at TLC last weekend. She emphasizes that she hates Nia Jax and that she hates Shayna Baszler. And that her New Year's resolution is just to keep both titles in the new year. Keep the Raw Women's Championship and keep the WWE Women's Tag Team titles as well. We'll see how long that lasts. I don't expect it to be long. So that was it. The Asuka stuff was completely pointless. The Keith Lee stuff was good. But again, the only part of this episode of Raw Talk that you should really go out of your way to watch is the Brody Lee tribute from Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Again, it's up on the channel. It's up on the WWE channel, so the YouTube channel. So you don't really have to watch the whole Raw Talk to get to it. But I thought it was really, really great for those two to do that. I thought it was really nice. So that is my review of Raw Talk for December 28th, 2020. Thank you guys for checking out this review. I appreciate it. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Hit that bell button as well to be notified every time a new video goes up. And we will be back with another Raw Talk review right here on the channel next week. Have a very happy new year, guys. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.